Hey all, wanted to follow up and check in with you. We obviously had a big week as a church. Sunday we voted to merge into Mount Ararat Bible Church, and they voted to accept us, and we're becoming one church, the Mount Bible Church, from kind of this point on. So we'll be jumping into that. Make sure you read the email if you want more details on how to just jump in and get more involved with stuff that's already going on from their side, and obviously you know some of what's going on our side. And so as we bring everything together, it'll be a little bit of a process, and as we said, we'll be joining together, worshiping together here at this facility, First Baptist facility, the former First Baptist facility, starting on Sundays on January 15th. So again, lots of communication will be coming, so make sure you're reading your emails. Please read your emails. It'll really help for you to keep involved and know what's going on and the opportunities to begin to get to know people and so forth. So as we do this, I want to give us a couple of reminders to kind of just try to shepherd us as we begin down this road. First one I want to give us is it is imperative in all of this that we remember the truth. And the truth is, there's lots of truths to remember, but the one I want us to focus on is the reality that we are one body in Christ. And so you think about wanting to walk forward in unity together and what that might look like, but all of that is grounded on the fact that we are already united. So before we walk in unity, we can, by faith, believe that we are unified already. We are all in Christ. We are all one body, one church. Right? And so recognizing the unity that we have, believing that is the basis for walking forward in it. And so as you think about people who are going to be coming over, all these new fellow church members, remember that. Hey, I don't know them yet. I don't know their names. I might not be able to pronounce their names. There's lots of them, but they are your fellow members. Both by just local church, we've come together as a local church, but also spiritually, you're fellow believers, you're one in Christ with them. So remember that unity, believe that unity as you now walk forward, seeking to be unified. So that's my first thing. So especially maybe in the times when it's harder to feel unified or to want to pursue unity, in those times it's even more important to believe and remember we are united in Christ. So that's the first thing I'd say. Second thing I want to encourage us in is for us to live out the grace we say we believe. We say we're saved by grace, dependent on grace. I have no hope apart from grace. And I am so grateful that God treats me with grace. He's patient with me. He forgives me. And I bank on that every day, and I know you do too. And so we want to then turn around and reflect and be a culture of that kind of grace. And that's always the case, but I think it has a special application right now as we move forward into this. There will be opportunities to show grace, to be patient. Because guess what? People are going to do things that are maybe thoughtless, like they don't realize that we're not familiar with this or that, or they just assume that we'd agree with them on that, or on how to do this or that, or different things like that. Or there will be mistakes. There will be interpersonal just figuring things out. As you serve together, there'll be different ways of doing things, and that will just be differences. But some of it will involve mistakes, maybe sin, probably. Your leaders will make mistakes. These new leaders that you have as part of our elder team now will make mistakes. So this idea of remembering the grace I've been shown and wanting to reflect that same kind of grace, that same kind of patience towards the people around me is going to be really important in these coming months and years. So there's that. And then as we come together and you see differences, or maybe you feel like you were overlooked in communication, no one told you, I just want to encourage us to assume the best. I think we referenced this in the meeting on Sunday, and Lorraine Washlake mentioned the idea of love believes all things. And then you could think of Proverbs where it's our honor to overlook an offense, right? And so just believing the best about motives and recognizing that it's easy to forget, that maybe the other person doesn't know or thinks differently. Just assuming the best, recognizing what it's like to be in other people's shoes. Maybe they're coming in eager and excited and ready to go, and you feel like you're getting run over. And it's nothing, just assuming. They're not trying to run anybody over, assuming that they love the church. They want to see God glorified, and they're eager to serve, and they maybe just didn't think. And so just be ready to assume the best. I think that's an outflow of that idea of grace that I just talked about. And then finally with that, I just want to encourage us to communicate. Words are so important, and we want to communicate graciously. Again, going back to the idea of grace and patiently, we want the fruit of the Spirit gently to come out of us as we do this, as we communicate. But we do need to communicate. So we need to ask questions. So if you're unclear on when something's happening or where or who's leading it, if you want to serve somewhere and you don't know who to talk to, just ask. Or if you're not sure how things are going to work with something, just ask. Communicate. And if you're a part of something and you realize, those people don't know, think about who you need to communicate with, who you need to talk to. And we just need lots of communication that's flavored by the fruit of the Spirit as we go forward in this. And we need that as leaders. I think that's going to be a big part of all of us leading this, is us communicating over the top communication, just to make sure everybody knows what's going on, what the opportunities are, who's leading what, and so forth and so on. So pray. Lastly, just pray for your fellow church members now. Pray for your new elders and deacons and deaconesses. Pray for our unity. Pray for this not to be a distraction, but to be fuel, a boost for us to go forward together for the sake of the gospel and the glory of God. So, love you guys. Exciting days ahead. Maybe you're nervous too, or maybe fearful. But we know that we're not going to be alone. God will be with us in it, and we can trust his promises. So, take care. Bye.